Okay, so I just asked that everyone have your mics off and your video off as well. So not that we don't like seeing you, but it might be a little distracting. So I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to turn off your video if I see you. Don't get offended. Okay, well, welcome. I said I'd start right at 2, 30 minutes after. Welcome to Astrology Niagara. This is our second monthly chat. I'm Melanie, and we're lucky enough to have Robin Armstrong here today. Before I introduce Robin, I just wanted to lay a few ground rules. It was in the email that I sent, but not everyone reads, sadly, my emails, so I'll just remind you. Just have your camera and mic turned off for the bulk of his session. And if we're hoping the session will run till about 4 o'clock, and then we'll have about half an hour for questions afterwards. And at that point, if you'd like to ask Robin some questions, then you are welcome to turn your camera and obviously your mic back on. And then you can talk to him directly. If you have questions during the chat, please use the chat box. It's just at the bottom of your screen. Use the chat box and select host. That's me, Melanie, so not everyone gets it. And like I did in the last chat, if there's a question that seems like, yeah, it makes sense to ask this question right now before we move on, then I will interrupt Robin with that question. I even found last chat, I don't know about this chat because I don't know anything about Pentans, but I even found last chat I was able to answer a lot of the questions already if someone had missed something. So if I want to interrupt him, then I will. If not, I will save your question until the end. What else do I want to say? If you have any technical issues at any point, please just use the message box to let me know. Once again, I am your moderator. And if for some reason you get kicked off and you can't get back on again, I'll be monitoring my email. So you can send me an email at melanie@melaniejoyastrology.com, or even message me on Facebook, direct message. I'll have everything up and running here so no one misses out. The session will be recorded. It's recording right now. And you will be sent a link to the video within a few days to a week. And Robin has graciously agreed to provide his notes as well, his PDF from this as well. So you'll be able to review anything you missed. I think that's about it. The only other thing is Robin did suggest that everyone has at least one chart in front of them, maybe their own, or maybe, you know, a family member, so they can kind of follow along and take a look and see how this applies. So if you want to take a second and grab a chart, this is a good time to do it. Okay, so Robin is a very interesting person. Professional astrologer, author, international speaker. He's well known for radio and television shows across the US and in Canada. He has the famous CAEE, so the Canadian Association for Astrological Education diploma. And he's president of the, is it RASA or RASA?
RASA.
RASA. And what does that stand for, Robin?
Robin Armstrong School of Astrology.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, just so you know, guys, full disclosure, I do have a rosé. It's been that kind of week, so okay. So yes, that would make sense. Good. So you have deep roots in China and India. We might get into that. I have some questions about that. You have designed and built the celestial harp. It's a 72-string musical instrument to play a person's horoscope and the I Ching. So cool. And you've built Forest Woodhenge, a super sundial, 126 posts arranged according to astrology in the I Ching. That's really interesting. So if maybe you'll answer some questions about that at the end of the session. Your most recent books include Moon Phases, 200-Year Monthly Ephemeris, I Ching, The Sequence of Change, an Astrological Perspective, and I Ching, The Great Treatise, an Astrological Perspective. So, wow, very interesting. And I'm just curious, what house system do you normally use, Robin, with all this Indian and Chinese?
I use the Placidus because each house cusp is the ascendant 2 hours after the other, the ones before it. So it's a time factor that each house cusp gives you the ascendant 2 hours later, so it allows you to think in time around it.
Oh, cool. And one last question. Do you use tropical or sidereal?
I use both, but mostly in my practice I'm using tropical. I can switch to sidereal in a second, but it's not, this is on tropical.
Tropical. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So I'm just going to make sure Robin can share. Oh my gosh, I think we're good. Okay, so without further ado, I turn it over to Robin, and I'm going to mute and stop my video. Okay.
Okay, so the idea is we're talking about pentans, and a lot of the stuff I do is in color. You'll see color, use of color with the Zodiac, and if you want to find out more about it, it's on my website, www.rasa.ws. But we're just going to go into here. So this is basically the Pentane system. There's 5-degree divisions for each sign of the Zodiac as a subsystem. And the Zodiac repeats itself across 2 signs, so it goes 6 times around the Zodiac. So the first place I ever heard of pentans was by Cyril Fagan in his book Astrological Origins, which I read back in the 70s. And he talked about how they had divided the sky. The Egyptian night sky was divided into 36 distinct phases, and of course the day would have been 2. So it made up for the 72 pentans. So that was the first reference to a system like this. But I didn't come to it from the Egyptian. I came to it independently from this. I'm going to explain how this system works out. A lot of the systems have numerological associations, like if you take decans as a subdivision, you take the first sign, and each of the fire signs go in order 1, 2, 3, and it divides it. And that's a kind of acceptable way, but it's not as alive as the pentans. So I want to just, the concept is, if you have a sign of the Zodiac, you have a bunch of people in the sign of the Zodiac, they're all Aries. Say there's all Aries. They're going to be different from each other just by where they are in the Zodiac. Every 5 degrees of Aries is a different type of Aries. And every 5 degrees of Taurus, every 5 degrees of each sign has a different quality, a different specific focus. And this is really useful. It really is a really nice enhancement to adding depth to the astrology. We start from the signs. This adds depth, adds the 5-degree divisions, eventually end up at the university of 360 degrees. Each degree is its own university education. There's so much information in any degree. So it takes a long time to graduate your awareness and your working with astrology to get up to degrees. And once you get up to degrees and stars and heavenly presences, you get into what's holding up the heavens, and you get into more spiritual side of things. So, okay, we're just going to, originally, a lot of my work came working with the light and the darkness. To me, most of the astrology factors have come from light. Basic factors have come from the light, how the light's showing how much darkness is there, how much light is there. And then there's the numerological things added onto it. So it's a mix of these two, but the light and the dark really woke me up. So half of the year in the Zodiac, half of the year daylight's increasing from December 22nd to June 21st. And half of the year darkness is increasing. So we just passed the 21st. So we've got the night times are getting longer now. Days are getting shorter, even though we're just starting summer. So this momentum, this is the main momentum in this. As light increases, we're more active, we're doing our own thing more, we're more independent. It's a process of being more me, more independent. I'm accentuating me and trying to be more independent, less. But when you're in the darkness increasing, you want to belong more, you want to have relevance to other people, you want to be part of the team, you want to be part of the group or be part of something bigger than yourself. And to do that, you have to take on responsibilities or put down yourself a little bit to be involved. And this compromise of sharing involves responsibilities, and that's the darkness increasing half of the year. So half the year is going towards more independence, half towards more belonging, half towards more freedom, half towards more responsibility. So this is just basic astrology, but this is the foundations of the Zodiac. It's not something you read about that much. They usually just go directly to cardinal, fixed, mutable, fire, water, air, earth, and don't get into this real powerful dynamic of the light and the darkness. So this is the first category. The second category, when you divide this in half, when you do this, half of the year daylight is more gray. There's more daylight than nighttime, and half of the year there's more darkness than nighttime. So this isn't a statement about the momentum. It's more that spring and summer, there's more daylight. It's warmer. It's more active. It's blatantly nicer outwardly. And yet in the fall and winter, it's darker. it might be darker and colder, but it's more social. We do things together. We work together as a team. We survive through the winter. So I consider these halves as the I, me, and the we, us half of the freedom and the responsibility. So Aries to Virgo are the I, me signs. They're doing their own thing. And Libras to Pisces are the we, us, the teams, or they have their relevance based on other people more than to themselves. So this is, yeah, so these two, when you put these two together, and this is like this is across the equinoxes, when you put together, we get our 4 seasons. In the 4 seasons, daylight is increasing, darkness is greater, that's the winter. In the spring, daylight is increasing and daylight is greater. It's more blatant, Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Then when you get to the summer, nighttime's increasing, but the daylight's still greater, so still blatantly nice out, or light out, or active out. So this is spring and summer, the sort of light half of the year. And then the fall is the darkness is increasing and darkness is greater. And that's the fall side. It's getting, the light's going to the greatest darkness. So the fall and winter are the fall and winter, the cold, dark times of the year, the social times of the year, and the spring and summer, the high independent, doing your own thing times of the year. So it's hard to hold classes during the summer, usually because most people, it's easier to have them in the wintertime when it's more social and people are more together. So kids get more restless, different things. So anyways, we can go into, I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I just want to go into, this is from here, I made this is just putting it to the zodiac and use the colors for the signs to distinguish. We just have the spring, summer, fall, winter in the zodiac. But this double division of, you see with the colors, the bright colors are all in the spring and summer. The darker colors are the fall and winter. So there's this polarity of light and dark in the zodiac. So this polarity has inspired me for 50 years. And it's the link of the I Ching and astrology, how they all come together around the yin and the yang. But the second factor is the masculine and feminine signs of the zodiac. So you have the masculine signs, the fire and the air signs. They're all the projective masculine signs, they project energy. And the feminine signs are all the reflective signs, but they're in between the masculine signs. So they're the water and the earth signs. So this is, I'll just go back, I want to go back a minute here. Yeah, so the fire signs are the primary. It takes 3 colors, you mix them, red, yellow, and blue. That's the main 3 colors. You mix them together, you get orange, green, and purple. That's the secondary or the air colors. Those are considered the masculine signs. And from the mix of these 6 signs, so from the first 3 signs, the fire signs, it mixes and gets the air signs. When you mix these 2, all the other signs in between are going to be red, orange for Taurus, orange, yellow, or amber for Cancer, yellow, green for Virgo, green, blue for Scorpio, blue, purple, or dark blue, and indigo for Capricorn, and purple, red for Pisces. So you get the mixing of colors matching the zodiac, and it matches on this elemental level. But the masculine and feminine, you have primary and secondary colors are the masculine, the tertiary colors are the feminine. But in seeing this, the masculine and feminine, this is where I saw, wow, the spring and summer is the light half of the cycle, and the fall and winter is the dark half of the cycle. And here you got the light and the dark going alternately around the zodiac 6 times. I said, wow, the zodiac will just fit into that perfectly. So this is a picture of it, of what I was saying. So you can see here, I use the zodiac, the turtle is a symbol of the zodiac. The feet are the fixed signs. The head's Aries, the tail's Libra, and you have the shell is the zodiac that holds up the world. It's an old symbol. But here, the zodiac's main band is going around of the zodiac, but you'll see the light half circle in the masculine signs. You have the dark half circle in the feminine signs, and it repeats around 6 times around the zodiac. So every masculine sign has the spring and summer signs in it. Every feminine sign has the fall and winter signs in it. So this is where the idea comes. This is the logic of it. Okay, let's just go on a little further, I think. Yeah, this shows it a bit better. It has the signs of the zodiac. So